the station that's on your side. This is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
New video tonight showing the brawl that ended Cross Creek's football game in Savannah Friday night.
I was in shock. I felt like I might have been watching, a show on TV.
And it's now the third Richmond County football game impacted by violence this season. The second for Cross Creek after their matchup with Butler was canceled because of a large fight at Butler a few days before that game. A few weeks ago, Josie High School had their game moved to Savannah because of a school shooting, also days before the game.
In Friday's fight, Savannah Chatham County Schools says a coach was hit in the head with a helmet. A student athlete ended up in the hospital, and consequences are still possible for the students involved in that. But Nick Phelan joins us in the newsroom. Nick, you watched the videos, you talked to witnesses. What did you find out about this brawl?
Yeah, well, Cross Creek traveled to Savannah on Friday, and this was Savannah's homecoming game. And as Cross Creek held a 28-0 lead, things heated up on the field, and with 3 minutes to go in the third, punches were thrown, and the benches were mostly cleared. From anticipation for homecoming to...
There were so many words going through my head. I was in shock. I felt like I might have been watching, a show on TV. Of course I was afraid. There was fear.
Kwanzaa Oliver is a band mom for Savannah High School. Once she heard the PA announcement, she knew it was serious.
Intercom, they kept, the announcer kept saying, "Parents, please don't rush the field." And it was at that moment that we all began to realize that this is getting ready to be out of control. And nobody is going to be able to stop this locomotive from happening.
Cross Creek's coach said that de-escalating was their number one priority, saying that they rushed the field after Savannah mostly cleared their benches, and no helmets were used as weapons. Moving forward, Ezard Horn is preaching staying calm in these situations.
We have to always keep our cool and keep our heads. Every time we step on the field, other teams are not going to be as courteous as we would try to be on the football field to give this proper sportsmanship to our opponents.
This is Cross Creek's second game impacted because of violence. Week 1 was canceled against Butler because of safety concerns. Horn says that in high school sports, you have to make every snap count.
We have seniors on the team that every minute counts for them. This has been their last season of high school football, and they want to make sure that they're able to play every minute they can this senior year.
And Richmond County says that they are investigating alongside the Georgia High School Association, saying that students could face GHSA and Richmond County Code of Student Conduct discipline for any unsportsmanlike actions that took place Friday night.
Okay, thanks for that, Nick. And earlier, like we mentioned, their Week 1 game was canceled due to a fight at Butler High School. And in the aftermath of the shooting at Josie, their football game was held a day later and moved to Savannah.
You just hate to see it for all the student athletes involved and those families.
It really just puts a damper on the whole group, whether they were involved or not.
To weather now, as we give you a live look outside toward downtown Augusta and check in with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. No complaints today, Emily. Beautiful out there.
Oh yeah, no complaints over here. And Richard, I got some good news for you. This weather is going to continue. We're seeing temperatures now in those lower 80s. We topped off in right around 82, 83 for most of us, but now we're in those lower 80s, upper 70s as we inch closer to sunset, which is right around 7:30 now. But the conditions are clear, dry for the most part, or they are dry, mostly clear, I should say, and that's going to continue overnight tonight, where we'll see lows dropping off into those upper 50s. But if you have any evening plans, should be a great weather to do that. Not too hot. I mean, actually a little bit on the cooler side. Going to see 70s by 8 p.m. and then those 60s will come into play. But like I said, upper 50s to start off our Tuesday. So if you are thinking about what you're going to wear tomorrow, what you're going to get your kids dressed in tomorrow, definitely want to have a jacket as they head off to school. But they're not going to need it by the end of the day because we're going to see plenty of sunshine. It's going to help us warm up into those lower 80s again.
Emily, thanks. One local business owner picking up a shovel to help save our city's cemeteries.
Magnolia Cemetery sits next to May Park, but if you drove by today, you would see overgrown grass and bricks everywhere. But those bricks have history tied to them. Our Sydney Hood joins us live from the cemetery with a look at the damage.
All of these bricks right here are more than 200 years old. So you combine that with this massive hole in the wall right here, and this metal fence that's not so sturdy, it's doing the opposite of what it's intended to do, and that's to protect all of these graves on the other side of the wall.
Earlier last year, each tombstone had a stone cross on the top.
Now, nothing.
I came last week and saw this tomb had been knocked over.
And I go, that's crazy, because I'm sitting down here at Magnolia looking at the hole in the wall.
Sitting here to protect what's inside.
And these walls just make part of it. The character of it.
Character now crumbling down.
It's like a breach in the city wall of old. Barbarians at the gate, for the gate's been knocked down.
Anybody can hop this wall easy. So maybe we put it back and help secure the place a little bit.
So that's what he's doing.
So we're going to take this whole section, you can see, down about 30 feet probably. We're going to take it back down to this base down here that seems to be in pretty good shape. Work around the tree, because we want to keep the tree. It's going to take a while to clean all the brick up.
A little more work.
It's got to be a couple thousand bricks.
Than expected.
So this is something that's kind of in my field, you know. So I see this and I go, oh yeah, I could probably do something about that easier than I can go cut how many acres of grass, you know, or fix a headstone. So I figured, you know, I could just, you know, take on a little project and get it done.
It's not going to be an overnight fix. There's still some things to work out with Parks and Rec, but other than some paperwork, they have the green light to go on this project. And they're starting by taking all the bricks right here, picking them up by hand, cleaning them by hand, and making them look like this right here. So the goal is to not replace this brick wall with new bricks, but restore all of the old bricks to restore that character back.
And it's good to see them stepping forward to do that
Yeah,
important work,
I
right?
love that. Just finding the solution and getting after it. Thanks for sharing that with us, and we can't wait to see the finished product.
Well, new tonight, the second suspect connected to a deadly Saluda shooting will spend 34 years in prison. Prosecutors say Aaron Hood, on the left there, killed 29-year-old Xavier Cancer and was convicted last week. The incident happened back in March of 2021 on Keisha Avenue. No word on the motive behind that shooting. There's no parole for Hood. He will have to serve that full sentence.
We're learning new details about the Richmond County investigator found dead Friday. The Lincoln County coroner says his name is Brian Manecki. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office found him in his personal car. Deputies say it appears he shot himself. Right now, the GBI is investigating this case. There's a growing need for affordable housing here at home. Augusta Housing Authority recently reopened the wait list for Section 8 housing. In 2 days, they had 6,000 applicants, so they immediately closed it. 3,000 people who made it onto that list are still waiting for a place to call home. Hallie Turner found a backlog on the national scale is pushing everything back.
The need for affordable housing in Augusta is rising faster than contractors can redo spaces like urban towers. But people say these new renovations aren't coming with an affordable price tag.
You still have to run and struggle with, where am I going to live? What's happening with me, my children?
Gary and Henry feels affordable housing in Augusta is anything but affordable.
We have individuals over there that are paying $900 a month, $700 a month. I don't see that being possible, because this is public housing that we're talking about. You know, this is not luxury living. This is public housing for low income.
According to Zumper's National Rent Report, Augusta's ranked as the 90th most expensive city to rent. The price of one-bedroom units in Augusta average $930. Two-bedroom units are averaging over $1,000.
People want to know, where am I going to lay my head that I can afford?
The Housing Authority says as soon as they find a house for someone, the list grows beyond their means to fill.
We generally keep a high 90%, like 96, 97% occupancy rate in our public housing units. So that means that we don't have a whole lot of excess capacity to put more people in housing.
For now, they're working with what they've got. Walton Green Apartments will soon house 420 units.
We anticipate occupancy starting in September this month. And should be fully occupied by the middle of next year.
Urban Towers is still being remodeled one section at a time, with people still in it.
A $24 million renovation of that property right now. It is under construction as we speak, but we only receive $3 to $4 million a year, and so that's a multi-year project that we're doing in stages. As we receive funding, we add on more floors that will be renovated.
In Augusta, Hallie Turner on your side.
The Housing Authority says they're getting to the bottom of their list of applicants, and they'll soon be ready to open up their public housing portal again soon. But for more information on how you can apply, you can go to our website at wrdw.com.
A huge demand for that. Also in business news, the owner of Southbound Smokehouse says they're expanding operations to the Alley in Aiken. Right now they have one location, that's the one at SRP Park by the Savannah River. So they're keeping details of this new restaurant quiet for now, but we'll let you know when they have some plans we can talk about.
One local picking up his paintbrush to spread joy throughout the area. After the break, we'll show you how Addison today is turning his passion into a career.
Well, fall is not officially here. That will come on Saturday, but those fall conditions are here for us for our work week. I'll have a look at your full forecast after the break.
Just last week, the I-Team told you about just one DUI case in Burke County that was not sent forward for prosecution by the Burke County Sheriff Alfonso Williams. The I-Team found a second DUI case that appears to have not made it to the court system. Well, deputies pulled over Daryl Tucker, the driver of the vehicle, who they say was so intoxicated he couldn't even talk or even walk.
Huh? I can't understand what you're saying. Don't move me. What?
Just like the last DUI case involving Assistant Rec Director Robert Allen, this case also did not make it to the court system for prosecution. The I-Team reached out to Daryl Tucker and the sheriff about this case and the last case. We have not heard back, but if you'd like to look at the full video and the full body cam, you can watch that story right now on our WRDW streaming app and online.
Time and Temp. Time and Temp. Brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Lawyers.
I'm attorney Jamie Casino. If you're injured in a wreck, our team has scored record results in the courtroom, and our Google rating is excellent. Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
At Savannah Medicare Specialists, we proudly serve Georgia and South Carolina. For a commitment-free consultation, please give us a call or visit our website, ru64.com.
Augusta's best. Say,
never took you for a mariachi guy.
Really not a huge fan, but seems to be all of us do these days. ru64.com.
Who are you talking to?
We're taking a look out over our station at Riverwatch at I-20 on a gorgeous afternoon. Emily, more of this is what we're hoping for.
Oh, definitely. A great start to our work week. I mean, if a Monday looks like this, I feel like can't have too many complaints there. But the good news is this weather is going to continue well into our work week. So that sunny sky conditions will continue specifically tomorrow morning. You're going to see plenty of sunshine, but my favorite thing about this forecast is definitely those dew points. And dew points kind of translate into those humidity levels. So whenever we're sitting in those 50s, feels great outside. That's some crisper air. You're not going outside feeling so humid and stuffy. Things are feeling really good out there this evening. So if you have any evening plans, should be a great night to get those done outside. Throughout the morning tomorrow, plenty of sunshine. Will warm up into those middle 80s by the afternoon. Some spots might still be in those lower 80s, but a little bit of cloud cover for our evening and overnight Tuesday into the early morning hours Wednesday. We'll see lows in those upper 50s again. Next chance of rainfall, though, is going to come late in the week, really into next weekend. Not expecting any rain for our counties here in the CSRA on Thursday. I know that this is kind of showing more along the coast, but a low pressure I'm expecting to form just off the east coast there. You can kind of see a little bit of that turn to it. Not expecting any tropical development with that, but nonetheless, low pressure is going to bring us some rainfall, really, for the coastal South Carolina and Georgia. That's going to be Saturday and possibly even into Sunday. So our most southern and eastern counties could see some rainfall this weekend. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also tracking the tropics, this is Hurricane Nigel. Now it's Category 1 hurricane, expected to strengthen, but the good news is not expected to make landfall anywhere. So no impacts to us here in the U.S. So that's always some good news. But look at this 7-day. Fall officially starts on Saturday. Might have a few showers for some of us, but I mean, if we're just taking a look at the work week in those middle lower 80s, that's roughly 3 or 4 degrees below average for this time of year. Overnight lows right around 60, feeling crisp, cool fall air. I'm excited for it.
We all are. Can't wait to get out there tonight. Thanks, Emily. You know, over the past year, Addison Ide, a local artist known for restoring an old faded Coca-Cola mural in downtown Augusta, has been getting a lot of attention because of that project. More business owners reaching out to see if he could restore their murals too.
Now he's turning his passion into a career. Coca-Cola is now sponsoring him to create more original murals across the CSRA.
Will Vogt stopped by his latest attraction.
When you drive into Lincolnton, it's hard to miss.
You can see that bear from probably 900 yards away.
The Milky Way Freeze Bar has some new art outside.
Oh, I love the bear and the colors. It just coordinates great with what we have already going on.
Artist Addison Ide says Lincolnton's Downtown Development Authority asked him to create something interactive.
What can I do that incorporated Coca-Cola, but that also incorporated something that people would love to take pictures with? So there was really only one thing.
The polar bear. Nide says it's special because he believes it's the first Coca-Cola polar bear mural ever.
Words are really hard to describe, but it was really meaningful to me that they allowed me to do it.
This is also his first original piece for Coca-Cola. He got their attention last year after restoring old, faded murals across the area using his own money. Now he's sponsored by them, and he's turning this into a career.
The fact that I've been recognized by them and their corporate office and how kind and generous Coca-Cola has been to me, it's been a dream come true for me.
In Lincolnton, Will Vogt, on your side.
Really a slam dunk for marketing for Coca-Cola.
We were hoping with the first story that Coca-Cola should get a hold of this
We're
guy.
like, somebody call Coca-Cola, and I guess they did, so thank you. But Nade says he'll be painting more original designs across the area, so you got to watch out.
He's got plans in Crawfordville, Rennes, Warrenton, and Waynesboro, so a very busy mural painter.
Yeah,
He's doing great
love
work.
it. It's so
Vintage,
cool
beautiful.
to see it come back to life.
All right, sports now. It's never too early to start talking bowl season coming up in sports. Some of the area's best will compete in the Shrine Bowl in December. Alyssa tells us who's suiting up.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Lexus Acura Cadillac. When you've been hurt in an accident. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
44 of the best high school football players between South Carolina and North Carolina will descend upon Spartanburg High School in December to compete in the Shrine Bowl. 5 of them will come from this area. Jaden Fuller and Jordan Boyd, both from Silver Bluff, were selected to be a part of Team South Carolina's defensive line. Lining up next to them is another CSRA native, Juju Stevens out of Strom Thurmond. On offense, no shocker here, Trayvon Dunbar out of Midland Valley was selected as a running back. A new Tennessee commit and Strom Thurmond standout Braylon Staley will slide into the South Carolina wide receiver group. In our game of the week, you could pick whether or not you see some of those athletes on your screen. You have an option to catch Juju Stevens and Braylon Staley up against North Augusta. The Warriors also looking for some redemption after last year's loss against Evans. Under the Lights could be headed to Westside or Butler only if you scan that link or head to the website to vote.
Alyssa, thanks. Art in the Heart of Augusta just wrapped up, and thanks to all of you who stopped by the booth to say hello. Last year, Destination Augusta said the event brought in more than $3 million in tourism dollars.
And with more big events coming up, like Ironman next weekend, we checked in to see how much the city will benefit this year.
Since June, Destination Augusta says they're estimating an economic impact of more than $19 million for the Garden City, and that includes things like Augusta Pride, Summer Expos, even South Carolina's Peach Jam. The foot traffic brought in is more than 143,000, with about 100,000 of that coming from Arts in the Heart this past weekend. We caught up with an owner of Psychotronic Records who says his wife was actually a jewelry vendor out there this year.
A lot of people were here from out of town, and there were a few times I had to ask people to leave because it's a small store and there were too many in here. I had to sign up for a while, no more than 10 people at a time, but that's a welcome problem.
Augusta's next big event to hit downtown, it's coming up soon. The Ironman coming up Sunday the 24th. Destination Augusta says their September estimates show the Greater Augusta Arts Council bringing more than $1.5 million from this past weekend.
Augusta leaders are working to define the limits for short-term rentals here in Augusta. The main concern from commissioners are the noise complaints and trash that happened during Masters Week. After the meeting, we talked to Commissioner McKnight, who says she wants the board to tackle these issues on paper.
We need to be proactive. We need to be hitting this head-on sooner than later, so that when we do have more, just not blowing up in our face.
Today's meeting is a continuation of a workshop that happened back in May, but nothing official was decided today.
Well, it's not officially fall yet, but feels like fall outside. Temperatures are in those lower 80s, and I'll have another look at your fall forecast after the break.
Touchdown!
News.
Well, fall officially starts on Saturday and might be bringing it in with a couple of showers there, but we still have the work week to go through, and temperatures are going to be in those lower 80s. Plenty of sunshine, especially tomorrow. Like we saw today, really going to be a copy and paste for our Tuesday. A little bit more cloud cover Wednesday and Thursday, but temperatures not rising too much. Still going to be in those lower and middle 80s. By the time we get to Friday, a little bit of cooler air will dip down into our area, but what's going to bring the rainfall is seeing some low pressure off of the East Coast, really off the coast of South Carolina, but that could bring some light rainfall really for our more southern and eastern counties there. Could come in a little bit late in the overnight hours Friday, but really kind of pinpointing it closer to Saturday and maybe even into Sunday a little bit there. Temperatures next week, already talking about next week, but next week starting off in those lower 80s, but overnight lows, this is cookout weather, grilling weather, bonfire weather. It's football weather. I would say this week is really a great week to get outdoors. Overnight lows in those upper 50s, lower 60s. I couldn't have asked for a better week. Definitely a few of my favorite things.
I love all of that. Beautiful out there. That's going to wrap things up for us. Our next live update comes at 7 o'clock on NBC 26.
Then we're back with more News 12 tonight at 11. We'll see you then.